Hi there, Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter. Today, by request, I'm going to show you how to make your own flower soft or textured embellishment for your cards. And it's mostly for like foliage, landscape cards, or flowers. This is not my idea. It has been around for a long time, but I had shown a video of my embossing powder and glitter drawers, and I had this jar of snow or faux flower soft, and people didn't know what that was, and they wanted to know how to make it and how to use it, so I thought, oh, why not? I can do that. So this is a card I've prepared that I will put the flower soft on when we're done making it. And what you're going to need if you want color to your flower soft, if you're going to just make snow, you don't need this, but you want some alcohol ink. These are Ranger alcohol inks, but any brand will work just fine. And my hands are inky because I've been making cards today and doing some mixed media stuff. You'll want a couple small little baggies to use for coloring your faux flower soft. You can definitely recycle packaging for this. You don't need to buy anything. And you're going to need a piece of paper folded in half, and then you'll just open it up on your workspace, and you're going to need some styrofoam balls, and these I picked up at the dollar store, so you don't need anything fancy. This is actually great, excuse me, if you have, maybe styrofoam decorations or something that got damaged, because this is a way you can use damaged styrofoam craft shapes if you have any of those. It does have to be the kind that are kind of like crystally looking, not the kind that look like they're made of like pressed beads, so it's got to be that kind of crunchy. Can you see the texture of that? It's going to be that kind of crunchy styrofoam ball, or whatever styrofoam shape you have. It's usually not the kind that you see in packaging. So sadly, your packaging styrofoam probably won't work for this unless it's that crispy looking kind that looks like a snowball. Yeah, you want to get this full ones that look like snowballs, but get them at the dollar store because I think styrofoam balls are very overpriced. So what you want to do is rub them together, and you can see it quickly makes snow. And you are going to get a ton from a couple little styrofoam balls, so you probably have a lifetime supply from like a small little package. And these were left over from some school crafts from when my kids were little, and I still had these. So after you have made as much as you want, what I usually do is I just put it in like an old jar that I recycled, and I usually just mainly keep them white because I'm most likely to use it for snow because it looks so much like snow. But if you want to color some, here's how you do that. You just want to take a little baggie and pour in the amount you need for your project, or if you know you're going to use a bunch of it, you can make more. That's plenty for you. I'm going to do yellow and green. I'll put a little bit in each side here. I don't need as much for green. And let me give that a shake. By the way, to index my alcohol inks, I put some whiteout pen on the top of my lid, and then I just put a drop of the alcohol ink. That way I can always tell what I have for colors, because I use alcohol ink a lot. And start off with just a little bit, because you probably don't need as much as you think. And just massage it in there. This is a great way to color embellishments. Like, there's cute little dewdroppy shaped things you can get at the craft store that are like flower filled, that are so cute on cards and scrapbook pages, and this is how I color them. Or even hot glue drops to make dewdrops. That's perfect. That's perfect little green. Don't need more than just those 2 drops. And we're going to do the same thing for the yellow. Just we'll put in like 2 or 3 drops, and then if we need to add more, we can always add it. And alcohol ink dries really fast. Now, a tip for getting really inexpensive alcohol ink is to check on Amazon and search alcohol ink for resin, because people go through tons of alcohol ink with resin projects, and it's a lot cheaper than getting the craft alcohol inks, like the Tim Holtz Ranger stuff. So there's just a little tip for you if you want to get a better price on your alcohol ink. Used to be, Copic Rangers used to be a really affordable way to get alcohol ink, but they've reduced their size but kept the price the same, so it's not so much of a deal anymore. Alright, so we have a couple colors here. We've got the green and we've got the yellow. Of course, you can change it up. You could do some brown, whatever colors you want. And I'm going to put them in my card here. So I recommend you build your card first. You have everything adhered down and have it just the way you want. Then you're going to want some clear glue, something that obviously won't be bothered by styrofoam, or that won't bother styrofoam. So you don't want a smelly glue, because smelly glues might have stuff that might dissolve the styrofoam. You don't want anything with an acetone in it. So I'm just going to add that to my flower centers there. And it's pretty light. It shouldn't take too much of anything. It shouldn't take anything too specialty. Oh man, I have like the worst luck with glue. I always get the ones that have the strings, so I'm just gonna try to clean that up. Have a wet rag handy for anything like me. Then I'm just actually gonna make a little bit of a spout with my bag there. And hopefully, oh yeah, make sure your Flower Soft is dry just in case you don't want to get wet alcohol ink on your card. So you can always put it out on a little piece of paper and fold it. And like when you'd buy Flower Soft, they would often have mixes. It would have like a couple different colors in it. And then just gently kind of press it into your glue there. And then I'm just going to tap. You can let it dry like this, but I think I'm just going to see if I can tap it right off so I can show you what it's going to look like. If you have any big chunks you don't like, you can pick them out. But it just gives you a little bit of a texture. Get that bigger chunk out there. And I will I will insert a picture of this card after the Flower Soft is all dry, so you can see how it looks once the glue has gone dry. But that's really all there is to it. It's a great way to add a little texture to your project, and it's very affordable to make. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, to store it, by the way, you can store it in baggies, or you could, like, if you wanted to mix, say you wanted to have like a yellow-green mix for another project, any sort of little jars are perfect. Like old glitter or embossing powder jars are great for this. I always save my old embossing powder jars for things like this. And you can come up with your own mixes. I would recommend dyeing them separately, just so you don't get a muddy color. So like if you know you want a mix that's got like lavender and like pink and green, mix each color separately, and then you can, after they're dry, you could put all the colors together in a jar and store it like that, and you'll have a multicolor mix for like gardens and whatnot. So after this dried, I actually started messing around with some markers and started dabbing on some green onto there. I'm not sure if I like it more. It might be a little too dark, but I did want to give you that tip that you could go in and you could darken that even if like you didn't feel like your color was dark enough to begin with. I would just gently tap on it, probably not with a brush end, but with like a chisel end of a marker. Maybe not your most expensive markers, but that way you can add a little bit more color if you want to. And that's it. I didn't take a photo of it before I started to dab in the green, so there was no photo insert, but hopefully that gives you an idea of how you can add a little more texture to your cards. Thank you so much for watching. Please give me a thumbs up before you go. Until next time, happy crafting.